Let me just, you know, tell you a little bit about wholesaling. First of all, a quick overview. What is wholesaling? The wholesaling is the art of finding um, a discounted property. That's pretty much the definition of wholesaling. And we are, as wholesalers, I like to be, we're like deal finders, okay? Deal finders and problem solvers, okay? Because usually the people that are going to sell to a wholesaler, why do they sell to a wholesaler? Usually because there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a situation, a problem. Someone could have passed away. It could have been a divorce. They could be behind on their mortgage or taxes. Renters, problem renters. People are getting older, so they're getting tired of rentals. Things like that. If someone doesn't have a problem, they got a nice house, why, we got to figure out that situation or problem. Why would they sell it at a discount to us? Okay. And why, especially in today's market, they could just list it on the market and make a lot of money. All right. So when I call a seller and they don't have no problems, no nothing, they're not gonna, I can't force them to sell their house. So there's no reason for me to try to beg them or try to force them. It's just not going to have a good conversation, So we're there. You got to make a lot of phone calls or a lot of contacts every day just to get, 1, 2, 3. If you make 100 calls, you might get a handful of people that might be interested in selling. And then out of that, you might get 1 or 2 appointments. And out of that, you might get 1 deal, And so that's really, in our part 1, we went over lead generation, the different ways of getting leads and things like that. And then part 2, how do you talk to sellers? Today, we're going to talk about, working with a title company and finding the right title company, because you just don't want to use any title company when you're doing wholesaling. All right. And then, and how, buyers, how do you sell your deals? Where do you find buyers? And, and creating a buyer's list. That's important. Okay. And then next month, on July 7th, we're going to talk about closing and getting how you get paid. How do you set up a closing and get, without conflict? Like I'll give you like just a quick example of that, and I won't get into it. I got a closing tomorrow. I got a deal on the contract. It's a 2-family in Detroit, Michigan, and Southwest Detroit. Good little area. ARV is probably 100,000. I got it for 34,000. Okay. And the tenants are paying, they've been there a long time. They're only paying $575 a month each in each unit. It probably should be closer to $800 to $900 a month in each, but at least we got some money coming in. It's a decent place. And I sold it for $58,000. Okay, so it's a $24,000 assignment, which is bigger than normal, bigger than usual, I guess you would say, here in Detroit. I do a lot of deals at $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I'm happy with that, because if I average $6,000 or $7,000 and I do 10 to 15 deals a month, that's a a good number for me anyway. Everyone's situation is different. Someone might say, look, if I could do 1 deal at $6,000 a month, that changes my life. If I could do 5 or 10. So you got to figure out what you're comfortable with. I don't want to get bigger than this. I want to do 10 deals a month minimum, 10 to 15 deals a month. That's enough. Okay. And so that's so what I was getting at is, so I got the documents together today from my title company, and I checked them, made sure my assignment fee is on there, made sure all that's correct, made sure the closing costs are in the right spots, because my buyer is paying all the closing costs. So I'm checking the seller's statement and the buyer's statement. All right. And then I got to check the rents, because there's going to be some prorated rents because it's already past June 1st. And the seller got the rent for June. So she's got to get a credit at closing, all that good stuff. And what I do is my buyers usually do not come to the closing. They e-sign. So the buyers won't even see the seller, which is fine. Okay. Which works out great. He wires the money. He'll wire it in the morning. My closing's at 2 o'clock. The title company will close the deal and the seller will get her check. And I already called the seller. And went over how much money she's getting, made sure she's happy. There's no surprises at the closing table. Explained to her she had $4,000 in back taxes. She small water bill. There was some prorated in taxes, security deposit. And at the end of the day, she wanted 30 grand. She wanted to walk away with 30, which she did. She's actually walking away with 29,000, but 1,000 was the prorations that she already got, from the rent amount. So she's happy. So tomorrow's closing is going to go smooth. Okay, any questions so far? I'll stop every once in a while, see if I can answer some questions that you might have.
Hey, so how do you work with agents?
How do I work with agents?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, it was hard to hear you. All right, yeah, agents. So I reach out to agents all the time, and I tell them who I am. I say I'm an investor, I'm a buyer, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I'm looking for your nastiest houses that you come across, houses that you don't want to go, that only a cash buyer would buy, ones you don't want to list, you won't make a lot of money on. And I want you to send those deals to me first, and I'll make sure you get paid. You could represent me, you can make both sides of the commission, so I'll make it simple. I could close fast. I'll give you an answer right away. So I do this all the time with agents. They call me all the time with deals because they come across situations that can't be listed for whatever the reason is. And so they call me, and if I don't, and they know if I don't buy it, I probably got a buyer that will buy it. Okay. So that's how I work with real estate agents.
And like, how do you pay them? Like, you pay them the commission, like on the agreed price of the purchase, or you split the assignment fee of the wholesale? Like, how do you work on that?
Yeah, I usually pay them. I usually pay them minimum 6%. If it's a $20,000 deal, I'm going to pay them more money. Okay. So I might pay them $2,500 on a smaller deal.
Okay.
But if it's $100,000 deal, they'll make $6,000. And the mindset of an agent is
commission.
Yeah, I don't want them to have the mindset of a wholesaler, because then they're reaching in my pocket, and kind of. But as long as they're happy, I'm happy. I don't mind paying them. The first time I pay them, then they're sending me more deals all the time. So I don't mind paying them at all. I just don't want to, if I'm making 20 grand, I don't want to have to give them 10,
Okay.
Things like that.
One closing.
What's that?
You are the one closing. You don't want to give them 50-50,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do they send you like off market, or do you also work on properties on the MLS, or that will work differently?
I do work on the market on the MLS, but I look for the old listings that look beat up, and I make a low offer. I'm not buying unless it's listed low already. So I'm trying to find the ones that are just sitting out there on the market, and nobody's looking at them anymore. It needs too much work, and then I'm going in there at a low offer. So and that's more of a cash offer that I'm making. I might have an investor I know that would buy it. I might double close it where I buy it and then sell it, things like that.
Got it.
Yeah, that's the way you could buy them for sure. But they're in today's market, they're hard to find.
Yeah, they're pretty rare.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for answering my question.
Yeah, 100%. Any other questions, Patricia or Demetrius, before we go on?
Actually, I
No
have a
question for
question,
me.
and I don't, and it may be a little off topic, but, and if so, just, we can talk about it later, but
Yeah.
I actually had found a property, and I researched it. It's owned by it's being foreclosed on. So I did further research and found out that the homeowner is deceased. So Wells Fargo is not giving detailed information about it because it's still going through the foreclosure process. I'm not familiar with probate. So what would you suggest? Because, or is that one that's too complicated? I should probably let it go,
No,
or,
not at all.
okay,
So let's go over. I do this all the time. I'm working on 2 probates right now that are in foreclosure. Okay.
okay,
That's my specialty. That's one of my specialties. Foreclosure is my specialty, and probates are also that are, especially when they're in foreclosure. So it's going to foreclosure, or is it in foreclosure?
it's in foreclosure.
So it already went to the auction.
Oh, no. It hasn't gone to the auction yet.
So it's going to foreclosure. It's pre-foreclosure. Okay.
Pre-foreclosure, yeah.
Have you talked to the sellers?
No, well, the seller that's listed on there is deceased.
Okay.
So I don't know. So I don't know who is, like, I guess, what do they call it? The executor?
Yeah, the
Over the
personal
estate?
representative. Yeah, the personal representative or the
Yeah.
executor of the state. Yep.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how to find that kind of information out to see if a deal can be made.
Right. So what I would do is there's ways you could go. There's something called Ben Verified. Okay.
You said Venn verified?
Ben Verified. BEEN Verified.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to show you my screen. Hang on. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So Ben Verified. If you had the address, Patricia, or the person's name, I could
Mhm.
show you how this works.
Well, I'd rather not give that yet while I'm
Percent-
working on it.
All right,
Yeah.
no problem. Well, I'm going to show you how it works anyway.
Okay.
This costs like $20 a month.
Okay.
Not that expensive. All right. So if I put in a property address or property search, you could put a people search, property search. Okay. Let's say I don't know. I'm gonna look up 504 Casper, Detroit. All right, boom. I click on this. Okay. So it gives you some information on the property.
Mhm.
See if there's any owners. It says one possible owner. Okay.
Mhm.
And this is the owner because I know this person. All right. So I click on it. It's going to pull up her information, but now it's going to also pull up the relatives information.
Got it. Okay.
A lot of times if someone was deceased, like if I pull up her information here, it would show deceased. Not always, but it's usually pretty accurate. But you know this person's deceased, then what you do, you'll go to relatives here,
Ah, okay.
all right? And then I would start calling these relatives.
Got it.
That's what I would do, okay?
Got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very helpful.
Yeah, and what you say to the relatives is you say, "Oh, hi, ma'am, how you doing?" Or, "Hi, sir, my name's Patricia. I'm an investor. I'm calling regarding the property at, 7538 Serena Street, and I'm reaching out, I'm looking a lot, there's all kinds of ways, but here's one simple way. We're looking to buy another property. I'm just reaching out to see if it's something you might be interested in selling."
Okay.
They might say, "That's my mom's house and this and that." I said, "Okay, is your mom there?" "No, she passed." I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was, did you guys decide as a family what you wanted to do with the house? I buy a lot of properties that might, from the family that might need to go to probate. I even pay for the probate in a lot of cases. Did you guys decide if you're going to keep it or were you thinking about selling it?
Okay.
So just something simple like that, boom, 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 and then you take it from there. And you might say, "You know what, my sister's handling that." You say, "Oh, terrific. And can I get her name and number? I could give her a call and see if I could figure something out that could help the family." "No,
All
no,
right.
I'm not going to give you that." "Okay, can you give me her number? Can you give her my number?" And they usually say yes. And then I just go down to the next one and I try to find this. You see where it says, "Oh, wait," I go and find the next one. Okay. Maybe I'll
Thank
find.
you so much, Todd. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Um,
All right, Demetrius, did you have a question?
No, no question. I'm just taking notes from what you guys were saying. Honestly, I'm before a novice, whatever that is. I'm
Okay.
that far.
Absolutely, for sure. All right. So that's let me all right, perfect. So that's that's gonna be next series about closing and getting paid. So today we're gonna talk about finding the right title company. First, we're gonna talk about that. So if you're gonna be a wholesaler, you need into finding buyers, the right type. We're gonna be talking about title companies and buyers. So to find buyers, first of all, you need to join the Facebook group pages, okay? Very important because they're, the wholesaling Facebook group pages. And I'm gonna show you why right here. So you go to Facebook and you're gonna see, like if you go, like I got a Facebook group page called TC Deals Detroit. Okay, that's my own personal page. And then I got deals on here. But what I'm looking at, so these are some of my deals, but I'm gonna find a deal that someone has that's not mine. This one right here. I look and see if anyone commented on it. Nope, must not be that good of a deal. Nope. No comments. No comments. No comments. All right, so forget that. No comments on there. Then I go to another group. All right, so let's go to Metro Investments. All right, now I'm gonna look for a deal that someone might have posted. All right, here's one here. See if, so there's a couple of comments. And this is how I find buyers too. You just scan these and try using, okay, that's Mark Usack. So this guy, Tommy Gunn, sent to this to Mark Usack. because he's an investor. He might like this deal in this area. So I might write his name down. I might message him and see if he's a buyer. And then I ask him a few questions. What do you like to buy? Do you like buying flips? Do you like buying rentals? What areas do you buy in? And I add him to, and I get his cell phone, email, add him to my buyers list. Okay, so here's another deal here. So I look at everyone, PM sent. So this guy is interested in this deal. This guy, Robert, is interested. This guy wants to get inside of it. This guy says, call me. So that's how you get buyers. You should be able to do this for an hour a day and get close to 50 buyers added to your buyers list. Keep it on an Excel spreadsheet or Google sheet and keep track of it. And before you know it, you're gonna have a solid buyers list, okay? Now, you could always talk to the buyers that you're dealing with, and the ones that are friendly, seems like they do a lot of business. Like if I wanted to check out Mark Usack or somebody, I'll go to his Facebook page and kind of see what he does, like investing and things like that. I'll try to research him a little bit, see if he's buying houses, and then I would reach out to him and I would ask him, what title companies do you use? Who do you like? Who's a wholesale friendly title company? Okay, so that's what you're looking for. And when you go to these different meetups, and then you got to go to the meetups every month, try to go to 2 or 3. I go to probably 5 a month, the same ones. Everyone knows me. And you could ask other wholesalers, what title companies do you like working with? Who's the best title company around? So things like that. And I could go in here and put in title company. I'm gonna put wholesale friendly title companies. See if anyone pops up here, because I'm just looking for their comments. And right here, someone put any wholesale friendly title companies in Toledo, Ohio, Texas. So I got to get more specific. I thought I was inside a specific Michigan group, and I would do the same thing. I would type in if there's any wholesale friendly title companies in that area. So Demetrius, you're in Michigan, so you can always call me for all kinds of information, you know.
I will. Don't worry about it. I am.
Exactly. But that's how you find title companies. That's one really good way to find buyers. You know, other good ways to find buyers is going to the auctions, the weekly auctions. I was at the auction today in Wayne County, which is Detroit, Michigan, and there's buyers there every day buying houses. You could print out a little flyer and tell people who you are, that you find off market deals, and this is my name and number and email address. And then when you talk to people, anytime I talk to someone, they might ask for my business card. I tell them I don't have one. I'm sorry, I left it in my car. And I go, let me get your information. And then I get their name, phone number, email, and then I'll send, and I go, I'm gonna send you a quick text message so you can lock me in your phone. And I'll reach out to you the next time I got a deal, and put you on my buyers list, things like that. Okay. And I'll show you something also that I have. I got an Excel spreadsheet, or Google sheet rather. It's a link. A lot of my buyers, I always tell them just to save this link to your desktop, look at it every day if you want to see my new deals. All right, so this is the link. As right here, like I could copy and paste this link, and someone could look at my my deals. I'm gonna let it load real fast. So this is the way it looks. I got a picture of the house. I got a little bit of information, the Dropbox pictures, the price, things like that. Okay. And then down here it says cash only, buyer to assume all belongings in the brief. We are selling our assignable interest, buyers to pay all closing costs. Here's a link to.
Are we supposed to be seeing this online, or you're just telling us this information?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
mean, Todd. I called you Mark. I meant Todd.
Yeah. That's okay. No, thank you for that,
Okay.
because I thought you were watching. So this is what it looks like. And then you can save the link, save it to your desktop to view new deals. And that's the link right there. So if someone has that, I text that to people, I tell them to save it. And then this pops up and it's live. Anytime I add a note, add a price, things like that. And I'm going to put, they see that right away. So this one has buyer to assume squatter. All right, so can you guys see it still?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so then at the bottom, that's where I put cash only, buyer to assume all belongings in the brief. We are selling our assignable interest, buyer to pay all closing costs, my information, and then it's a little bit my website, my deal link, and my Facebook group page. So that's what I keep all my deals on there, and I put them all over the place. I put my deals on Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram. There's a networking, Michigan Real Estate Network. I post them there. I belong to that. I put them on Bigger Pockets. I email them to my buyers list. I email blast my buyers list, and I text blast my buyers list. So that's, I get my name out there.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So, all right, we'll move on from there. So that's how you build a buyer's list. And that's how you actually find a title company. All right. And then once you do a deal or two with a title company, you start, and you can always tell them, look, I'm a new wholesaler. So please bear with me. And if I'm doing something, it doesn't seem, right, or if you could teach me anything, please do. I'm a lifetime learner. All right. And that just makes them feel good to reach out to you, help you. I got a title processor that knows me well. I got her cell phone number. I text her. She bends over backwards for me, and I bring her a lot of business from other wholesalers in town because she gets paid a commission, and she takes care of me, and I make sure I send her a lot of business. Okay. And so that's really, so this week's series is probably ordering title. I just send it. They'll either give you a order title sheet from the title company that you fill out with like their name of the seller. You can write in there that you're assigning the contract, buyer to be determined, the address, the purchase price on the contract, and then you also send them your purchase agreement so they can open up title and start the title search to make sure the title's clean. All right. And you do not need to be a title expert to do this, because that's what your title company's for. I know I was in the mortgage business for 20 plus years. I know titles really well, but all you got to do is ask the title company, is the title clean? Is it clear? And they're going to say yes or no. Is the seller selling it that I'm buying it from? Are they on title? Are they the owners? They're going to say yes. And is there anything, what else do we need? You need a payoff? Do you need anything? And they'll tell you what they need. They'll help you get it, all that good stuff. Okay. And if there's a problem, then you ask them, how do we fix it? What do we got to do? And then you try to help them with that or see if they could do it for you. Okay. Just like when buying a house, difference is with the title company, you're not going to be the buyer. You send them a purchase agreement that the purchase agreement says you can assign the contract. And then you find a buyer. Let's say you got a deal for 20 grand, you're buying it and you sell it for 30 grand. Then you're going to get a buyer and you're going to sign that purchase agreement for 10 grand to the new buyer. He's going to buy it for 30. You're going to make 10 and your seller's going to make the 20. Just simple math like that. Any other questions about that so far?
All good.
Well, I have a quick question. I got a lot of questions. So, but do you vet your buyers, or how do you vet, if you vet your buyers, how do you do it? And then have you ever had an instance where you assigned it and the buyer fell through, and how did you handle that? Because I think it's a lot of people out here that's, trying to do the wholesaling, and I'm like, how do you avoid doing an assignment and then that buyer is really not in a position
Right.
to
And
purchase?
that's money deposits.
That's a great question, okay? Because there's a lot of wholesalers out there posing as buyers, and they're gonna try to take your deal and sell it to one of their buyers, or a buyer doesn't have the money. So here's how you do it. And after you get in, after you're doing it, you'll know who your good buyers are and things like that. You ask for a proof of funds, okay? Which is, if you wanted $1 million proof of funds from me right now, I don't have $1 million, but I could get you any proof of funds that you want, okay? I promise, so it really doesn't mean too much, but still ask for it. And then the first time you're using a buyer, you want to get like a $3,000 earnest money deposit or more, 3,000 to 5,000 that they're going to send to the title company within 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay. And if you close the deal with that buyer before, then you could make it $1,000 earnest money deposit. Okay. But you always want to get something. Okay. So there's a couple of things there, but there's times that we're ready to close and the buyer's gone. You can't find them. Then you're going to start scrambling and looking for another buyer. And there's a whole new seminar of what you got to do then, but that's why, you pitch the deal back out. You might lower it a little bit, things like that, to try to get it sold as quickly as possible. And I would go to the seller and just let them know. Sometimes I'll just say, you know what, my partner, for whatever reason, he's getting a little goofy right now. He thinks the market's going to crash, and he just brought this to me. I'm ready to get this wrapped up for you. And I've been working with him a long time, and I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to work through it right now. I'm going to need an extension, and I'm working as hard as I can to get this done as soon as possible. Things like that. So you kind of got to, depending on the person, depending on the situation, you got to give them some type of update. That's one way. Another way, I got a deal that was supposed to close already, and I was using that money to pay this. And it looks like it's closing next week. So I'm going to have to push this back a little bit. I just wanted to give you an update and let you know we're working on getting this thing wrapped up right away.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But more questions. This is like, there's not many people on it, so any questions someone may have, let's do it.
No question for me.
Yes.
No, no question. I'm saying I don't have a
Oh,
question.
sorry. All right, another good way to build your buyers list is once you create that relationship with your title company, remember they have access, they have access to different buyers, all the buyers that close on the closing table. So that is a good way. You could, ask them how can you reach out to some buyers if there's a list and things like that.
Nice.
That's a good way to build your buyers list also. And another way, listen to this. This is one of the best ways. Your mail carrier. The mail carriers are great. Well, I'm talking about leads now. I'm sorry, not buyers. They're not buyers. They're lead. To get leads, the mail carrier is one of the best person. Since I said it, I'll just finish it. You could go to your mail carrier and say, look, I know you know everything on your route, every house that might be foreclosed, any house that they might be evicting somebody, that any house that someone might have passed away, any bad looking house that needs a lot of repairs. If you could get me their addresses, any information, and if I could, and what I do is I call them. I know how to get their phone number. I'll give them a call. If I buy that house, I'll give you a $500 referral fee. Okay. And once you get a $500 referral fee from them, and if they could recruit some other mail carriers that they know, and you'll give them some money when they refer somebody. So you could get some really good people with the mail carriers. Awesome.
How are you currently reaching out to sellers? Like cold calling? Oh,
Am I cold calling?
yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have like VA services that cold call for me
Okay.
because I'm so busy. I used to cold call a lot, and but they cold call and then they send me the warm leads.
They set your appointments to you. Yeah, yeah. Nice.
What's that?
That your cold caller set appointments to you. So
Yeah, they just get someone warm and then I call them.
nice.
And also, Jose, I got a pretty good network in Arizona and Texas.
Oh,
I get deals sent to me from an agent from Texas all the time.
nice. Do you do business in Florida?
In Florida, I do not yet.
All right. What other markets are you currently doing business?
Well, I do some in Georgia. I think you said Georgia, but Texas, Arizona. I mean, I would do a deal in Florida if I got a lead there, because I could find buyers anywhere,
I mean,
But
I would say that right now, like finding the buyers is not a problem. Like finding the money, you know, like finding a good buyer, that's the thing. But like the problem right now is like to find a good deal, you know? That makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah,
yeah, that's why that's why wholesaling is great for investors like yourself, because you could find the deals, and if it's a deal you don't want, you wholesale it.
exactly.
You know, that's a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's great. Yeah. So that's, you got to get a niche list or something, like tired landlords, people like, or landlords, grab that list. They got services that, like I said, that REI, USA Leads, I think is the service I use. It's
Okay.
like $1,700 a month. They call 1,000 people a day, 1,000 numbers a day, 5 days a week, and they bring me warm leads. They do all the hard stuff in the beginning, and they bring me leads. And I got a lot of channels. I'm on the radio. I have a radio commercial that I run to get leads and things like that. So
Do you have to train them how to cold call? Like guide them a little bit?
I can't hear you.
Or do you have to guide them like your cold callers? Do you have to teach them how to cold call and all of that?
Do I teach them how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one service that's like $1,700 a month.
Mhm.
That I do not. They're already trained, and they have they make sure they're making the phone calls. They're training them. They're listening to them. They're doing all the KPIs, all that stuff.
All
My
right.
other VA service, I do listen to them, and I help them. I train them because I don't want them to make appointments for me and try to. That's not my business. I don't want them to make the appointments or try to get the deal under contract. I just want them to find out people that might be interested in selling, why they want to sell, the condition of the property, and what price that they're looking to get. That's it.
Yes.
And then they tell them, you know what, I'm going to sit down with Todd. He's the guy that's been doing this a long time, and he knows your area really well. And we're gonna sit down together, and then he's gonna give you a call back either today or tomorrow, depending on the schedule. And then boom, boom, boom. And then they
Nice.
send it over to me. I look at it, and then I call them. And now I'm talking to someone that, at least seems somewhat interested in maybe selling.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome. All right. So again, next week we're going to be next month we're going to be talking about closing and getting paid, avoiding issues when you're at the closing table, how you can avoid issues, because when you bring the buyer and the seller to the closing at the same time, there could be a lot of issues. You don't want the seller to see that you're making $20,000. They might get, upset. They probably won't walk away. They might, but most likely they're just happy to get a check. And so there's a way so they don't see each other. So I usually have like I said, my buyers, they'll just e-sign the docs. They don't even go to the closing. If they have to go to the closing, I have them go in there first, probably 30 minutes first before my seller goes there. And then my seller comes in after, and she finalizes the documents. So I never have them in the same room at the same time.
Nice.
So let's see. So now that we covered the title and finding the buyers, is there any, you can ask any questions about anything else you guys have that you want to, me to answer my insight on?
I'm good right now, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm good as well.
Okay, perfect. Anything else, Patricia?
Well, do you know a lot about tax liens?
I
as
do
a source? You do not, okay.
I don't know about the tax liens. That's like a whole different type of seminar, but there's people that do those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I don't have any other questions. Thanks. This is really good information.
awesome. So just so you know, every Wednesday, and you could see it up on the meetups, I do a wholesaling Just a quick, it's an hour, it might be less than an hour. It's usually about 30 to 45 minutes. I might have one quick tip of the week, and then I answer any questions anybody might have. So that happens on Wednesdays, Eastern time, and I think it's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm checking right now. Let's see. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So feel free to, that's every Wednesday. And then I know today's Thursday. I did it last night. So yeah, anytime you guys get on there, feel free to call or text me. And if you have any other questions at any time.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Todd.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Much appreciated. Hey, Todd, I got a quick question. That phone number, the 248-497, is that your cell phone number to text you?
That is my cell phone number. Correct.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. I know I was texting someone when I signed up in the group. I don't know if that was you. I did ask quite a few questions. They weren't like super deep, but they responded pretty promptly as well.
Then it was not me.
I got that. I definitely have some other questions, but I would like to get more information before asking them. And they you know, they would be like questions personally for you rather than a group, probably.
Okay, yeah, 100%. Anytime you get a day off or something, you want to come to my office, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be. What days are you in?
Every day.
All right, man. I'm
I work every day if I'm not on appointment. So yeah, I'm
got you.
I own a dumpster company. I have 13 rubber wheel dumpsters.
Okay.
I got a
Okay.
driver. Like today, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I delivered 2 dumpsters, and then, by 10 o'clock in the morning, I was already at the auction, and then I got a driver that he delivered probably 4 or 5 dumpsters today. So yeah, so, I help out as needed.
Understood. So it sounds like you're up pretty early most days.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'll be reaching out. I may reach out as soon as tomorrow. I do have some thoughts and questions, man. But I'll reach out and catch you, early.
Okay. Perfect. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. Appreciate the information. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bye.
bye-bye.
You're welcome.